Hello, welcome to Tinks Invest, where we talk about investing, finance, and professional. As a recording time of 6:26 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum coin trade $3,411, down about 3.53% so far. On the overall crypto market and the equity market, see that in the after market hours, the altcoins are surging nicely, while the key coins are relatively flat to down at the moment. And with respect to Ethereum, we are reviving back up to the more of a comfortable level, right? The 3,450, which is a technical resistance level to identify, right? We bounce off specifically from the 3,325 earlier today. We got even slightly lower by like $25, right? Just broke below 3,300. And the current media affectation front, I'm just looking into the news real quick collectively. I'll say, there's some historical regurgitation news, which is what most of the media company likes to do, right? Just to re-stir the fried rice that we're making, right? Using overnight food and to make the stew or the fried rice that we are having and try to delegate into a dish. That seems like it's news, but actually it's not really news, if you may. But the one really media affectation that is worth mentioning that's a little bit more substantive than other is coming out from JPMorgan, which is my first job out of school, as you know from my story. It's coming from a team of analysts from the investment banking division, and in an investor's notes coming out of the investor relations department, the investor service, and the team is led by someone named Nicolau. His last name is Penny something. I can't say his last name at all. And basically, on a high level verbiage, it's basically talk about the competition seems like it's rising against Ethereum, right? And in the report, it talks a little bit about the increasing competitions from alternative blockchain technology like Avalanche, like Binance Smart Chain, like Solana, and Terra, which are, providing comparable applications as Ethereum, but with higher speeds and lower fees. Right? So it seems like based on the verbiage that I read as I read into the article a little bit more, Ethereum is currently in an intense race to maintain its dominance in an application space with outcome that's basically far from given in their opinion. So it seems like JPMorgan is laying it out that they are a little bit bearish and a little bit more bullish towards these other coins that they are proposing, right? Again, Avalanche, Binance Smart Chain, Solana, and Terra, right? But they didn't really specify in terms of the respective value proposition of each coin, and they don't really specify their point of view, but rather just kind of giving a kind of a half effort. And some of the analysts, like someone named Tim Belko, which is a Ethereum core developer. They even said that this seems or sounds very much like a lazy, way too high level of a critique coming out from JPMorgan, despite they have a team of investment professionals doing this report. So it's an interesting one, yeah. But as I read into the report, and I'll talk to my friends from the JPMorgan. I still have relatively good connections in the bank, to understand further about the rationale. So as I talk to my boys, my friends, obviously, I'll get a little bit more insights as to their perspective. They might be holding some, Ethereum, or they might be obviously they are holding some crypto assets, but with respect to their, what's the tactical, exposure that they have. That's something I will do a little bit intel on. So I'll let you guys know as I learn a little bit more. Yeah, seems like the article is just like kind of it's a juxtaposition news, but without like true technical substance. And I think that's why they're getting bashed from people that are in that subject matter expertise, right? Ultimately, JPMorgan is a bank, right? So if you understand that point of view, they're not really technologists, nor do they know how to cultivate crypto or blockchain technology. They just don't have the capability of doing so. But they can only understand based on their observation. They can only see that based on the competitive advantage of each coin and formalize their opinion. But ultimately, these are opinions formalized by investors, finance people. So they have their weakness, but they also have their strengths, which is most of the time, applying their financial fundamental methodology by studying the chart, studying the quantitative analysis, being a diligent researcher, obviously, to stitch their recommendations to the corporate clients. So it is what it is, right? Obviously, JPMorgan does have some gravitas, knowing the fact it's one of the biggest investment banks in the world, and they do have a lot of institutional clients that they support and advise, obviously. So, read this with a grain of salt, but I'll learn a little bit more to, get us some intel on to what to triangulate, because ultimately they might have a specific point of view, and sometimes, and this is not the first time I've been telling this story, right? That the whales might be saying something, but they might be doing the other thing. So we trust what they say, but we verify as we learn a little bit more, right? And beside that's really much the news, I would say. Just a lot more regurgitation news. Talk about, with respect to the crash, the mini flash crash that we saw today, but also yesterday, obviously. Does this look like a reversal right now, or are we going to be in for more sell-off? It seems like there's some speculative technical analysis article that came out from Bazinga and also from Decrypt. So let's ignore those and let's just go straight into what we are best at, technical analysis. Again, with respect to recording time of 6:33 p.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum currently $3,409, down about 3.57% so far. The overall market is reviving right now. We are at the comfortable level just around the 3,450. So right now we're still at the depleted level of 33 out of 70, so relatively still oversold at the moment. And at this moment, we're still in a bearish sentiment. But I think the revival is coming up, knowing the fact that we have seen already such consecutive days of sell-off, and we're still in the downward wedge, right? So technically, this is going to translate into, hitting the earth crust, right? As we hit that earth crust, we're going to have incur a lot more imbalance in the supply and demand dynamics, right? And the whales are going to be incentivized to buy back in, right? Knowing the fact that we've been bleeding quite nicely, right? So right now, it's still the logical play to incur risk at this current level right now, despite your paper loss that you see in front of you. But I think for those that are trained with that logical technical eyes, we know that the dips are in front of us right now. And respect to Bitcoin is currently down about 0.64%. We are still in the oversold level, 32 out of 70. So I don't really foresee us keep crashing down. It wouldn't be quite logical that way. Obviously, we have still a lot of uncertainties up in the air that we talked about earlier today already. But I think, we can only squeeze a lemon so hard that people are going to have to sell on loss collectively for us to get down even further. So technically, I don't think it make any sense to keep leaping down. But if we do, obviously, we know what to do, right? Put your limit orders in. Right, and Dogecoin is currently up about 0.89%. Anywhere from the current level to the bottom, technically, you could see that we hit the 1457 earlier. We're still at 37 out of 70, so it's not terrible in terms of incurred risks for Dogecoin. Cardano is reversing nicely. It's up about 4%. At the moment, it's at 43 out of 70, so obviously we bought in at the 119 earlier. That was the logical move, and congrats on the small gains that you're getting right now. Solana is still below the 155 level with the 150 exactly. We are relatively oversold, 33 out of 70. So again, right, 155 would be the first level, which we broke already. So it's a buy level right now. Next level will be 133 to 113 from here. XRP is up about 1.15% with the 78 exactly right now. You can see clearly we got to 74, 75 cents earlier today. So that was the dip, right? Like I said, right, 78 to 75 was the dips. 69 would be a stretch. But right now it's still okay, right? Not the best, not the worst, but it's still at a tolerable level. Polkadot's up about 0.3%, so flat right now. Anywhere from current level to the bottom, 23 still better level at the 43 out of 70 right now. ALGORAND's up about 0.64%. Anywhere from the 136 to below is still better level for us. Shiba Inu is up about 1.28%. Anywhere from I would say 29.50 to below is still a better level for us. MagTech is up about 3.31% so far. Still not a logical level to incur risk at the moment, I would say. Well, we're at the 46 out of 70. So we're still like at a mediocre level that I keep saying. So it's not the best, right? I would not really touch it right now. It looks like a literally, and I'm not crazy, right? You have a head, you have a shoulder, right? So it's gonna come down to 175. Obviously, we're gonna hit $2 first, which you see you bounce from there. But it's not sustainable, right? Because it's a relatively just a flat number, not a real level. 175 to 143 is better level for us. AVAX broke 100, so you could see that we're down 2% right now. We're gonna bounce from basically 90, which is exactly why we did, because it's a flat number. But I don't think this is gonna be sustainable, and I think 80 to 60 is the better level for us to incur risk, knowing the fact that we're still at the 42. Luna is up about 1.15%, anywhere from 62, 52 to 45 from here. Let me just look at Enron real quick. We're rushing back up nicely. I know we were like way below even 196 earlier today. We are still at the relatively depleted level, 34. So not terrible to incur risk right now. We were so oversold that we were below the 30 mark, I can tell. Like 198 was a really just like rock bottom below Earth crust. And you can see that's why the candle was so meany. That was a flash crash. So whoever got in, like, wow, that's amazing. Congrats to you. And respective risk management level, these are levels that we have identified for the respective assets here. And you can see that we are within the attractive slash fair level all over again for respective coins. And I just want to say congrats, and also give yourself a pat on your shoulder for taking a logical risk in this recent volatility, right? It's definitely it takes a lot of mental muscle, a lot of discipline to be thinking logically and staying, again, cool as a cucumber, to be incurring risk at the right level, right? And I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you to be incurring the right risk levels and hold this for the next 3 to 5 years. You're gonna laugh at these numbers. You're gonna be like, oh, why did I stress about this? But it's a form of training, right? And I just hope that through these training, your lessons, aka losing money in the market, will mitigate going forward, right? So have a good one. Have a good night. I'm tired as hell. I'm dying right now. You could probably tell that I need to probably shave. I think I have the 5 o'clock shadow right now. But yeah, appreciate you and take care.